Come in. It is Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the victorious Jacksonville Jaguars. And preseason week one, the Jags go to Dallas and get it done 28-23. We'll go to the locker room. We'll hear from head coach Doug Peterson coming up. And the Jags find a way, and Nathan Rourke, by the way, found a way late in this game to escape and make a fantastic play for a touchdown. You'll be seeing that clip for the foreseeable future. Fantastic finish. The starters had their moments. Trevor Lawrence threw a touchdown pass. They got a 2-point conversion. C.J. Beathard had a rushing touchdown. Rourke had a rushing and a passing touchdown in the tail end of this game. So, and then, hey, they got pressure. They got takeaways on defense and on special teams. So a lot of good. There's going to be some things you can pick out of this game that weren't so good either, but that's the way it goes in preseason week one.
Yeah, look, the Jags got some sacks today. Didn't give up any, which was nice. And granted, you're going against backups, but at a certain point your backups are in as well, JP. So they were able to get pressure on the Dallas quarterbacks a little bit today, make some plays. Nathan Rourke is a preseason legend now after he escaped basically 4 would-be sacks on the same play. 4 guys had a shot on him, had their hands on him in the backfield, and that was a heck of a play to keep that play extended. Since the game has gone final, I've seen it replayed about a dozen times on TV already, so you'll see that a little bit. But good for him, making a name for himself. Well, we saw some guys out there have a few moments. Tank Bigsby ripped off a big run early on in the football game. And, look, in the end, we're so used to the Jags losing these preseason games, and we go, it doesn't matter. The outcome doesn't matter. And it doesn't. I mean, they're not going to carry over, but I think the coaching staff wants to see them build a foundation of winning. You go out there to win on the day that you play, and the Jags took care of business and, created some turnovers and came away with a W, and it's a solid but not spectacular start to the preseason.
Plenty to get to, of course, in the reaction to this Jaguars win in preseason week one. But let's start with Trevor Lawrence and his performance statistically. 5 of 6, 36 yards passing, a touchdown and interception. The INT came on his second pass of the game, the second play of the game. A couple of those throws go to Calvin Ridley, which is what a lot of people wanted to see. And most of the names on the offense, at least the playmakers on offense and that starting offense, all got touches in the first quarter of this game. Christian Kirk had the touchdown catch. Zay Jones had the 2-point play. Evan Ingram had a target but no catches. Travis Etienne got to carry the football. So, hey, everybody got a moment or two, and that's, I think, what was the goal going in.
Yeah, I think from that standpoint, you just want to have that connection materialize between Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley. But I kind of give the offense maybe a C, something like that. That was a bad interception to start.
Yes.
Then you had the punt, and you did force the turnover, which was great, but that was a special teams play. And Trevor Lawrence ends up throwing 6 passes and averages 6 yards per attempt, which is just, okay. Look, they left with the lead, which was 8-0, and that was good. But, again, you're playing against backups. I didn't think obviously the pass, Lawrence just kind of mystifying what he was looking at on that interception right there. So
he was rolling left and kind of went up the sideline. And
and if you're throwing it away, clearly throw it away. 2 receivers in the area. Don't know if that was a mistake, but whatever the case may be, I mean, this is preseason, and if it happens now and you correct it, that's fine. But I'd like to see if they do get a chance. I don't know how they'll handle it with the joint practices coming up with Detroit. Maybe that's enough for the starters next week, but I'd like to see them have a little bit crisper start to the football game.
So plenty to get to. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back in a moment. Doug Peterson will join Kai Stevens in Dallas after a Jaguars victory in preseason week one. Final score 28-23. And this is Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call the MVPs at CarShield for their best coverage ever. Call 800-471-1223. 800-471-1223. Go Jags!
Welcome back. It's Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. No Fred Taylor. We'll get with him after the home game, preseason week 3, when the Dolphins come to town. We're in the Hyundai Studios at Everbank Stadium after a Jaguars win in Dallas today. 28-23 the final score. The Jaguars starters got some good work early, and the reserve players had moments. Certainly Nathan Rourke with the fine play at the end. Sacks for the defense, takeaways for the defense and special
and was able to put the ball in the end zone after the special teams play there. And then I think defensively too, coming away with some takeaways right there. And then I think some of the young guys in the second half, our quarterback Nate, did a nice job stepping in and making some plays and just coming up big, when we needed those guys to make plays. So overall, a lot of things to clean up, but there is some positive that we'll take a look at and build on.
Starters go out with a lead. Defense allowed no points. Good.
Yeah, I mean that's always good. That was kind of the goal, was to get the offense going and then defensively play well. And again, some positives early, and again, all things that we can build on the rest of camp.
Pressure throughout the game with different levels of the defense. 4 sacks. I assume that's a good sign coming out of this.
Always when you can put pressure, on their quarterback, and I thought that some of the Yazir, stood out and had a couple nice rushes there. Even the first group, getting some pressure. All good things that we'll look at on tape and build on.
Devon looked like he was in the backfield almost every play that he was in. Is that just a continuation of what you saw last year and camp?
Yeah. No, it's the way he's kind of attacked the season, attacked training camp, and it's really good to see that he can definitely push the pocket from the tackle spot, and it's what we need. It's what we need all season long.
How much the fourth down early and then the going for 2 was the long snapper situation or being aggressive?
We're unfortunate. Ross got knocked out of the game on that first punt on the turnover, and so we were out of a long snapper for the rest of the game. So a lot of fourth downs that we normally wouldn't do, and then a lot of 2-point conversions that we normally wouldn't do. So it was good to see. Josh stepped in and had 2 punts there, punt snaps, and was effective obviously, but we'll see where Ross is at this week.
What did you see from Tank?
Saw some good things from him. I think once he settled in and really started seeing the hole a little bit better, he had a couple nice runs on the perimeter, but a tough running back. He's somebody that brings a little punch, runs behind his pads, as we say, and again, this will be a good film for him to watch.
I'm assuming highlighting the bad would be penalties.
Yeah, 13 penalties, I think. I mean, that's obviously something we've talked about. I've talked about with the team, in these preseason games, especially when you're playing a lot of guys, things are going to happen. But it's something we have to clean up. It's really a discipline thing. It'll start with me and this week in practice and making sure that our guys understand that either pre-snap or post-snap just can't happen.
You also have long runs from 3 different backs. It can take a while to get the running game going. Do you feel like you're getting good run blocking right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously we got to look at the tape and grade it that way, but there were times I thought we could stay a little more north and vertical, and then there's times when the backs did a nice job of bouncing it to the outside. And sometimes too, that's where some of your holds and stuff come into play, is when the back misses a hole and he tries to stretch a play and the tackle or guard is in a bad position. So those are all things we can correct and fix this week.
What do you think of Nathan's escapability in general, and especially on the touchdown line?
I mean, it was pretty incredible. I thought it, toughness and poise in the pocket, being able to make a play like that and have a couple of guys on him to make that throw, for the touchdown is I haven't seen too many plays like that, even in a preseason game. So hats off to him. He did a nice job leading that group, in the second half, and was able to put us in the end zone. And then he had the touchdown run too, so had a really good second half.
He was out pretty quick, but any thoughts on how Ridley played first game in a while, obviously?
Very excited. He was excited to be out there. Very appreciative. But for him to get a ball or two out there and really catch and run and kind of feel the game again. That's what he wants, and that's what we wanted for him. And everything will continue to get better for him. And as we go.
Last year down the stretch, you guys made a ton of plays, like playmaking plays. Today, you kind of did it again, both sides. I mean, is that what you feel you have, a team that can obviously make plays on both sides?
Well, you're going to have that at times, and you never know who's going to make it. I stress all the time, don't chase plays, just make them when they come to you or when your number's called. And I think that's today, what you saw from our young guys, especially when their number was called, they made a play. They executed the offense or defense and made a play. We had the interception late, which was really good to see, and guys were in the right spot. So all things that we can build upon as we watch this film. All right. Thanks, guys.
Partnership and the performance you know and trust. Take advantage of high-yield savings solutions with money market, online savings, CDs, and more. Visit everbank.com/Jaguars today for your financial advantage. Everbank, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Milquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score in Dallas, Jaguars 28, Cowboys 23. Let's go back to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Head coach Doug Peterson with Kai Stevens.
Coach, you got your first preseason game in the books now, some good, some bad. What were you happy with the outcome overall?
Well, obviously, if you win a game, it's obviously a positive, right? And there's a lot of things that we can take away from this football game. I think, obviously the way we started offensively is not what we want. The way we started defensively is what you want. But I like the way the offense rebounded. Made a special teams play there. We caught the turnover. Offense was able to put it in the end zone, 2-point convert. We lost our long snapper for the game, so it put us in a lot of 2-point conversions and fourth down go for it situations. But I thought that the ones rebounded well, and then they came out. And after that, it was really, it was the young guys, and making plays and putting guys in position. We wanted to see certain guys in certain situations. We were able to do that, Tank in some short yardage situations, obviously 1st and 10 situations, and, just see how he would handle sort of a bigger stage. And I thought he did a good job for the most part. We'll obviously got to evaluate the film as we go, but, and then defensively coming up with some takeaways, just all parts of just the way the ebb and flow of the game.
Your assessment overall, up, down at the beginning?
Yeah, obviously just still like a little frustrated from having a turnover early. But, I think we finished well, the starters that were in early. And then as a team, it was great to see. I mean, Nate had some unbelievable plays. So that was really cool to see him play well. And that's what it takes these preseason games. At the end of the game, you got a lot of different guys in there and got to have some plays like that. And Nate he played great, took care of the ball, won the game for us. That was cool to see. It's cool to see our depth play and play well. But, yeah, obviously, besides that one throw, thought it was pretty clean, from an offensive perspective. Some things we need to work on. We had a 3-and-out on our second drive as well. That wasn't great. So just starting a little faster. Can't turn the ball over, put our defense in that situation. But I think we know that. Just bad throw by me. So, we'll watch the tape. We'll get better. And that's a good thing. I think we're getting better every day. And I've seen it through training camp and just continue to do that.
Only preseason, but still good to get a W.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Whenever there's points on the board, you want to win these games, and obviously it doesn't count for your record for the regular season. But I think just from a morale standpoint for the team, I think it's good. The last couple years, I think we've only won one preseason game, so it's nice when you can win these games, especially when your depth plays well like they do today. And I think it gives everybody confidence. It's nice for us to see that and to be able to finish games because these are real situations that come up throughout the season, and to see those guys handle them, play well under the pressure of the last drive going and winning the game. I think it's great to see. Our defense had some big takeaways. So that was great to see us get our hands on the ball, get the ball back, give us some extra possessions. That was really, really cool.
Trevor, I know you have frontline guys, obviously your wide receiving core, but this game and practice has showed the depth there. I mean, some of those guys fighting for spots just kind of keep making plays. Is that where you keep seeing?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we have a lot of depth. This is, since I've been here, definitely the deepest we've been. I would argue every position, but definitely a receiver. We got a lot of really good players. It's going to be tough. It comes down to the end, who's getting those last spots, and we got a lot of really good players, and that's why preseason's big to see guys who makes the plays, when it counts, when the points go on the board in these real games. So it's cool to see guys making plays. We had a ton of guys make some plays out there tonight. Oliver, Elijah, Jure, bunch of other guys. Snoop made some good plays. Q on the scramble there at the end, touchdown. Obviously Nate, and a lot of guys on defense too. So it's cool to see those guys battling and doing everything they can.
I know it's a small sample size, but your comfort level with Calvin and what it was like to play with him the first time.
It's great. We had a couple. Obviously, it was such a small, like you said, sample size. It's different when you play a full game and you get different looks and you kind of progress as the game goes and you kind of get settled in. Obviously, you can see more, but I thought he did a great job. Had some nice catches today. I thought we were really efficient when we did decide to throw the ball today. Obviously, besides the interception, so I think those were positives. I think we ran the ball well, but a couple plays here and there, a couple negatives. Some, and that, like I said, the 3-and-out wasn't great, but yeah, I mean we're gonna keep getting better, and he's gonna keep getting better. All right, thanks. Appreciate y'all.
A family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. This is your time to discover summer at your local Ford dealer.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a parking spot? Join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Stadium is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from various locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage near downtown. Buy single game or season passes exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app starting at just $10. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville after a Jags win in Dallas. Final score, Jaguars 28, Cowboys 23. Time now for the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. The Jaguars had a handful of takeaways today, but this one saved a touchdown.
Rush drops again. Checks it down to Dowdle, this time in the middle of the field. Made a man miss. 20, 15, 10, inside the 10. Now the ball comes out. The ball comes out near the goal line, and Jacksonville recovered. The Jags have recovered it near the goal line. What a job that time. Daniel Thomas, the safety, has recovered the fumble. It looks like it's going to be around the 1-yard line.
It was. Jaguars recovered it. Greg Jr. with the forced fumble. He had earlier in the game recovered a fumble on a punt return. The Jaguars forced. He forced this one. Daniel Thomas recovered it at the 1, going in for Dallas. A fantastic play, and that was the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Jags defense coming up in a few big ways today, and certainly takeaways, too.
Yeah, and not all turnovers are created equal. I mean, that was touchdown, or at the very least, first and goal inside the 2-yard line is where that was headed. So I think the momentum probably would have carried him into the end zone. But big play right there, and that's an example of why you never give up on the ball. And look, Greg Jr. and all of these young corners are trying to make their mark out there. You're not always going to be able to do it in coverage. A Christian Braswell, nice diving interception today, so he made his mark as well. But Jr. all around the football, and it's that stick with the play to the very end, JP. That's easy. You know, it's preseason. The guy's got a big head of steam, but he stayed with it, reached in, pulled it out, and a great recovery, by the way, by Daniel Thomas. I mean, he was pouncing on that thing with a guy right on top of him. Very quickly, so the Jags were opportunistic today.
Certainly were, and that was their mantra at the end of last season as well. Big
Create
plays,
turnovers, yeah,
when they needed them.
No doubt.
Even when they're sometimes giving up some yardage, they would always kind of find a way to get the football back, and that was the way they worked it down the stretch. Certainly was the case in this game today. All right, so he brought it up. Doug Peterson did with Kai Stevens. Long snapper got hurt. So
and you were down a backup long snapper, right?
Tyler Shatley hasn't practiced in a few days. He would have been probably the next guy up. He's done it before in an actual regular season game. Josh Peterson was tabbed to do it today.
It was an adventure.
It was until they decided just to go for 2 every time and not punt much.
Which,
after that.
honestly, when you've got an experienced veteran kicker, why not do that anyway in the preseason, right? So I don't think it really costs them much. But, I mean, if you're in a regular season circumstance right here, you better. I think this is something, though, you don't want to know how long this injury is going to impact Ross Matisic, if at all, right? He might be fine after the plane ride home, but got to have a contingency plan. It's not something you think about because your long snapper doesn't get hurt all that often. He's not in action all the time, but it did create a circumstance where it allowed the Jags to naturally be more aggressive, try some 2-point plays out, and go for it a little bit more on 4th down. And had they not gone for it on 4th down, you wouldn't have had that first touchdown. So,
it's true.
Paid off. Look, the extra rep, it's a little thing like that, right? That I think back to last year, there's all this hype coming into the season, right? If Riley Patterson misses the field goal against the Chargers, then our feeling about how Trevor Lawrence performed in that game is a little bit different, right? Because he couldn't overcome everything,
win the game,
even though he put him in position. So, look, you don't know what play is going to be the big play, but the Jags able to hang in there, feel good about themselves, get a W. There's plenty to correct here. It's one preseason game. We're a month away from the start of the regular season. And by the time we get to Indianapolis, we're going to have forgotten just about everything that happened today.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, and maybe by the time we get to Detroit this week.
Possibly so. And as well we should, honestly.
Yeah, let's move on to the next. We're back in a moment with the final stats. We'll go through them in preseason week 1 after a Jaguars win 28-23 over the Cowboys. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Hey, Jags fans. Everbank is driven by performance, strength, and security. Start building your legacy today with Everbank's Yield Pledge accounts, all of which deliver a yield in the top 5% of competitive accounts nationwide. Visit everbank.com/Jaguars for your earned advantage. Everbank, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios after a Jaguars victory in preseason week 1, 28-23 the final. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence with a touchdown pass, a 2-point play. He did throw an interception on the second play of the game, but then as Doug Peterson just told us, told Kai Stevens just a little while ago, they rebounded in their, I guess that would be their third official possession after a takeaway on special teams, got them an extra life there, and they found the end zone and finished on a positive note. The starters in this game today. The defense started very well, and some of the younger players on that side of the ball made plays throughout the second half as well. It's time now to take a look at an Everbank stats check from this one. We'll start off with the team statistics, the final totals in the game. Yardage, 414. to 340 in favor of the Jaguars. Rushing net 145 to 94 in favor of the Jags. Passing yardage 269 to 246 in favor of the Jaguars. 13 penalties for 86 yards against the Jags. 6 for 45 yards against the Dallas Cowboys. 2 turnovers for the Jaguars. 3 of them charged against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas had 22 first downs to the Jaguars 21. The Jags were 10 of 17 on third down. Dallas 5 of 15. Time of possession in favor of the Jaguars, 32 minutes, 22 seconds their total in this game. Turnovers were big. The penalties can be worked on. The Jaguars gained a lot of yardage in this game and got in the end zone a handful of times and got the other quarterback on the ground quite a bit in this game too.
Yeah, a lot of that yardage came from the arm of Nathan Rourke, who played in the second half, threw for 153 yards, 9 out of 17 with the one touchdown to Kadri Allison there, a quarterback rating of 103.3. Trevor Lawrence, of course, started things off through the interception, then rebounded, was 5 out of 6 overall for 36 yards and a TD to Christian Kirk. C.J. Beathard played in between those two, went 6 of 13 for 80 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Will Grier on the other side threw 31 passes in this game, completed 22 for 199 yards, a pair of touchdowns, but he was sacked 3 times and also picked off by Christian Braswell. On the ground today, the leading gainer was Tank Bigsby, 9 carries for 52 yards, worked out to 5.8 per carry. Dearness Johnson chipped in with 5 for 31, and Travis Etienne had 5 for 22. Deuce Vaughn led the way for Dallas, 8 for 50, and he had a score on the ground. Rushing touchdowns for the Jags both came from the quarterback. C.J. Beathard and Nathan Rourke each ran one in. Receiving today, Jacob Harris only had the one target, but he made a really nice two-handed grab of a ball that was falling below his knees for 42 yards to set up a score for Jacksonville. Elijah Cooks continued a strong preseason, 2 for 42. Jeray Jenkins had 2 catches for 32 yards, and it was pretty much chopped up beyond that. But for the front line guys, Calvin Ridley grabbing his first 2 aerials from Trevor Lawrence in game action for 21 yards. I'm sure made Jaguar fans happy, and Christian Kirk catching those 2 for 12 that included a touchdown. John Stevens Jr. led the way for Dallas with 5 grabs for 56 yards, including a score from Will Grier. Defensively, we mentioned Antonio Johnson, 8 total tackles in the game, 5 solos. Sacks for the Jags today from Yasir Abdullah, Jeremiah Ledbetter, Ventrell Miller, and Devon Hamilton, and none allowed, which was very good as well. Braswell with the interception in the game. So overall, Jags have a number of guys you can point to that said, you know what, check me out. I'm making plays here, but plenty of areas that they can correct still here, JP.
There's your stats check. Preseason week 1, the most important stat, the score. Final score, Jaguars 28, Cowboys 23. We're back with the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. The start of the NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. The Jaguars entertain the Dolphins in a preseason matchup Saturday, August 26th. Lock in those tickets now. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/tickets. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Who will your child grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. so they can grow up to be whoever they want to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags win in Dallas 28-23. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. Fred Taylor will be back with us after the Dolphins game, week 3 of the preseason here at the bank. We're inside the Hyundai Studios. It's time for a Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. Fred's not with us tonight, so Tony Smith gets to vote in his place, and he gets a vote and a half to break any deadlocks. So, Mike, you want to get us started?
I don't know if we're going to need the tiebreaker, but we'll find out how it goes. I don't know how you don't go with Nathan Rourke here. He ran for a touchdown. He threw for one on what's going to be remembered as kind of the fun play of the game, breaking 4 tackles in the backfield, kind of halfway falling to the ground and throwing a touchdown to Kadre Ollison. Didn't throw an interception, 103 quarterback rating, threw for 153 yards. We don't know if this guy is going to make the team or not. We don't know what the Jags' philosophy is going to be on keeping a third quarterback, but he went out there and acquitted himself very well and gave the fans a highlight play to remember. So my vote goes to Nathan Rourke.
It's very Canadian football of him. Yes, he spent some time with the BC Lions. Tony, what do you think?
I think it's very probable that Nathan Rourke never throws a regular season pass for the Jaguars, right, in his career. It's not that it can't happen. You know, there's not zero possibility of it, but it's likely that he'll never throw a regular season pass in his Jaguars career. If he had made that play in a regular season game, it would have been in the echelon of great Jaguars plays of all
Legends.
time. Right? Like, I don't have a Rolodex of the great preseason plays made by Jaguars in my head. I think in 10 years when you say, remember that play from Nathan Rourke, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I can visualize that play again. And that's a rare thing for a preseason play. It's not going next to 90 yards from Fred Taylor. It's just not on that same kind of level, but definitely gets the vote for player of the game.
Thank you very much. I think we'll make it unanimous then. Pretty simple one tonight. Nathan Rourke, the second backup, comes in, plays big for this Jaguars team. And you mentioned the numbers, Mike. Well, it's worth mentioning again. 9 of 17, 153 yards passing, 1 touchdown through the air. Oh, another one on the ground, 103.3 rating. What more do you want? You'll get maybe some more next week against the Detroit Lions, but Nathan Rourke is the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. Jags win at 28-23 over the Cowboys. This is Jaguars Post Game on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Who will your child grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children, so they can grow up to be whoever they want to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Welcome back. Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville. The injury report presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, Ross Matisic, the long snapper with a shoulder issue, did not return to the game. Josh Peterson, the tight end, had to really basically just try some on the sideline first and then try some in the game. And then they didn't do it anymore after that. So we'll –
yeah. You know, it's preseason when you saw the reaction from Logan Cook when he caught that snap, and he's just cracking up coming to the sideline right there. It's easier to deal with that in the first preseason game, JP.
Yeah, it was not to really – I don't want to crush Josh Peterson because he's put in a tough spot.
Sure. Nobody's
However, it was such a bad snap that it was like a duck, and it wasn't even into the end zone. Like usually bad snaps like fly out past the punter.
Didn't have enough on it.
No chance. It didn't have anything on it. So, hey – only one way to find out, and we'll see what happens. Let's hope Ross Matisic is fine. No, haven't seen any reporting on that yet, but a lot of training camp left to go. We'll see what happens on that. When we know the players coming into the game, a couple of guys were still in concussion protocol. Abdullah played in this game, so obviously he was out of the protocol, which is good news. Obviously, Ben Barch has not practiced yet, the left guard. That could be coming soon, from what I understand. You might be able to see him out there. I think he wants to probably be out there already. I think the team's just being pretty cautious with him. He's pretty close, I think, to the 10-month mark, so I think they want to hit a milestone and maybe get him out there. Tyler Shatley, we'll see if he can get back to practice at some point very soon. He's missed the last 3-4 days after the AFib incident. And then let's see what else is going on. There's a few other kind of bangs and bruises. That's what training camp is all about this time of year.
Yeah, Darrell Williams went down for a minute today, but he returned to the game, so he seems like he's going to be okay. The Ben Barch thing shouldn't be underestimated, JP. He went out and won that job last year, and not everybody thought he was going to do that.
He was playing well early, too.
So that's the guy that you would project, at least for now, particularly with Cam Robinson suspended, that is your best option at that position. If they can – look, they got a month to go. If they can get him back even in a couple weeks from now, he's got plenty of time to be up and ready for the opener this year.
Dwan Smoot's the other that's on the PUP to start training camp. And, Doug Peterson said the other day that could even go, I think, a little deeper into the season. So there's no huge rush for him to get back. Maybe at some point once the season begins, you see the return of Smoot. But that's a long way off. That's your injury report. We're back in a moment with a preview of next week. The Jaguars get it done in preseason week 1. 28-23 the final, the win over the Cowboys. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Who will your child grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So they can grow up to be whoever they want to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Final moments of Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville after a Jags win in Dallas over the Cowboys 28-23. And training camp continues. Back on the field Monday. Another week of prep for, and then back on the field Monday. And then on the plane Tuesday to go to Detroit Wednesday and Thursday. I almost got my schedule messed up. 2 practices against the Detroit Lions, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think they'll have their own day in Detroit, and then Saturday's the game against the Lions at Ford Field. So a busy week ahead. On the field Monday, travel Tuesday after a practice, and then 2 more.
Yeah, this is a team in Detroit that just had a week of joint practices as well that handled the Jacksonville Jaguars pretty late in the season last year and has their own deep playoff aspirations, particularly in a not top-heavy NFC. I mean, I guess it is top-heavy with Philadelphia and San Francisco, but there's not much depth beyond that in terms of contending teams. So Detroit Lions fans are as excited about their chances as they've been in a long time. And I think the quality of work that the Jags are able to get done this week is going to go a long way towards determining what the approach is going to be during the preseason game. I think, obviously you can set up these periods to get the kind of looks that you want, and hopefully the Jags feel good coming out of it. And, as always, avoid injury, particularly the major injury. But it's not even the major ones that always get you. Like Devontae Adams goes down for the Raiders in practice yesterday. They think he's going to be fine. But what you don't want with the Jags right now as you're trying to build towards the season, you don't want anybody to miss even like a 2-week period. Even though they'd be ready for the start of the regular season, you want to keep that chemistry developing on both sides of the football right now. So this will be some good work I think they get in. I think you're seeing a lot of teams go to this model and try to have more of a controlled environment where they can put some situations and some stress on their players that they want to see and then maybe protect them when the preseason game rolls around.
And let's face it, I mean, you said the Lions think they're a contending team. They have good play. Their tackles are really good. Good test for this pass rush and one-on-one.
Their entire offensive line is really
yes. Their defensive line, we know what those guys can do, and the names that are up front, it's a good test for the Jaguars' offensive front. Get a lot of Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker talk this week. That's the way that's going to go. You know that's coming. So it'll be great to see those one-on-one battles, Jags O-line against that defensive front for Detroit and vice versa.
Yeah, you never know, right? Like we've seen guys shine for the Jags in training camp, and then you get into a joint practice, and you're like, uh-oh. It's not quite the same when you're not going up against your own guys. So hopefully the Jags will fare well, and again, stay healthy and have the coaching staff put these guys in the position where they want to see them perform, and then to have them actually have some success in that environment.
For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll take your calls at 355-NFL-1. Yes, we will. So hang out. And if you're on the network outside of Jacksonville, join us on Jaguars.com or the Jaguars YouTube channel for more. VP of Production, Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer, Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato and Tony Smith. And Donna Murphy are our studio producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton, David Cho, and Max Hockman produce video for Jaguars.com. William Pease handles our podcast. Kate Waskey on advertising. For our entire crew, Mike Dempsey included. Why not? I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for listening. Jaguars win at 28-23 over the Dallas Cowboys on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in. Welcome in. We are here. It's the Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard.
First one. JP, how many are we going to get? 22 or 23 of these? It really depends on whether or not we're the number one seed and we're playing wild card weekend or not. So I'm counting on spending a lot of time with you over the next 5.5, 6 months.
We're going to need that first round bye. That'd be great. Thanks.
Be fantastic. We'll take it. You know what? Let's repeat division titles. Here's the thing. Jags have not gone to the playoffs in consecutive years since the 90s.
Yes, that's true.
That's hard to fathom.
No,
right?
I mean, it happened.
I know it
yeah,
happened, but it's hard to fathom because along the way they had some pretty good teams pop up in there. 2017, 2007. Obviously, they went to the playoffs in 2005, but particularly those first two teams last year, you get in not only to the postseason, but you put yourself in a ridiculously bad situation. You overcome it. And I think, you go toe-to-toe with Kansas City. Didn't come out on top, didn't take advantage of all your opportunities. But I think it has left a hunger with his football team and a belief that they can square off against some of the better teams in the AFC. And, I hope today was just a step in the right direction. And as we said, I said by the opener, probably won't remember much from this. You said, by next week, we won't remember much of this. And I think you're absolutely correct.
Well, we're still at least on the same date as the game, so let's review a little bit of it, shall we? Your call's coming up. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Trevor Lawrence, touchdown pass after, though, an interception on the second play of the game. He threw a swing pass out to the right to Christian Kirk and then rolled left, threw down the sideline about, 25, 30 yards, and just an easy interception up in the air forever, it felt like. But to his credit, they got the ball back after the special teams crew got a takeaway, gave him an extra life, and they took advantage of it. Found the end zone, Christian Kirk. 2-point play was nice. They hit Ridley a couple times on passes, spread the wealth to their playmakers. That was the idea going in. Gave ETN a touch on the ground and got some points. So all's well on the first-team offense.
I don't know if all's well, but it ended well.
In general,
sure.
yes.
Yeah, it wasn't a catastrophe, anything like that.
You weren't going to win the MVP tonight.
No, granted, but we got to leave plenty of room for growth here. That's why I say, kind of they redeemed themselves with the touchdown, and it was a really nice throw to Christian Kirk, by the way. Kind of because the numbers weren't spectacular, maybe we haven't focused on Trevor Lawrence's performance, but he led Christian Kirk, kind of threw him open on that touchdown, and a really nice catch by Zay Jones on the two-pointer as well. So, look, the Jags' top three receivers are a potentially lethal combo, and then you add Evan Ingram in and what he can do, particularly after the catch. I mean, when you're spreading them out, basically four wide, even though you'll have a tight end in name only out there, that's going to be as compelling a group of pass catchers as most quarterbacks have to work with in the league. And then you add ETN, who we know is explosive with the 5.1 yards per carry last year, the runs over 30-plus yards, and we know he's got that in him. Tank Bigsby flashed a little bit of that today. So, again, protection up front, that will be the storyline in terms of the offense as long as they maintain good health. At the skill positions, I think we all feel if Trevor Lawrence is given any kind of just average time by quarterback standards in the NFL, this team is going to light the scoreboard up this year.
Quick thought on defense. 4 sacks for the Jaguars D. 6 quarterback hits, 7 tackles for loss in the game. So they were active, and really throughout the night, the starters looked good. Reserve guys had their moments. And on the back end, you saw some nice play from a guy like Antonio Johnson, rookie out of Texas A&M. Let's start with the pass rush, though. That's been the big topic the last week or so at camp. Hey, how can they get more numbers, sacks, all this stuff? Well, they spread the wealth. 4 different sacks tonight. Devon Hamilton had 1. Abdullah had 1. Ledbetter had 1. I almost said Von Miller. Ventrell Miller had 1. Big difference.
If you squint.
Right. It says V. Miller on the stat sheet. That's why. Either way, they had 4 sacks. And so, hey, an active night for that group. Good for those guys up front, and maybe it's the start of a trend.
Yeah, and look, if you average 4 a game, you're probably going to lead the league in sacks, right? I mean, it doesn't sound like this astronomical total, but that's on pace for 68 if you do it in the regular season. So that would be fantastic, phenomenal.
Well, grain of salt here, right? Because the offensive line and the offensive plan for the Cowboys is not like sliding protections over and planning,
and it's not including their starters, right? I mean, they're playing their backups, but wouldn't you feel a lot worse if the Jags, if you said, hey, the first team defense went up against the backups and they couldn't get anything done? So they got a little something done. Devon Hamilton's been generating some buzz as a guy who may be more than just a run stuffer, maybe a penetrator and create some things for other guys. So good to see him get back there. But I think the Yasir Abdullah one is the one that has me the most excited.
Well, the Hamilton one, remember, Cisco blitzed and whiffed in the backfield and set it up. So, and that's how they got a lot of the pressure late in the season last year, was some pressures, safety blitz at Rayshon Jenkins' fumble against the Titans. That was on a blitz coming in to get the sack fumble that Allen returned. So there's some of that in the arsenal, and that's about the only one they showed tonight.
You're right, and I'm a little surprised they even showed that, quite frankly, but it's something you're going to have to do with this team. As good as we hope Yasir Abdullah turns out to be, maybe Caleb Von Chase on the light comes on for him in the pass rush department, likelihood is that you're going to have to create pressure in creative ways, and I think Mike Caldwell feels like now that these guys are going to have the defense down a little bit more in hand this year, that'll free them up to be more aggressive, sending guys from different angles. So, look, that's probably a kind of shades of things to come, but a good first step. We're not trying to overplay the fact that, you took advantage of Dallas' second team, but if you hadn't, that would be a problem.
I agree. 355-NFL-1 is the number, 355-6351. We're back with your calls after a Jags win in preseason week 1. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG, too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Hey, it's Salem from Travel Camp RV, the official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted to personally invite you to come shop with us. With locations throughout the Southeast, we're likely not far from you. We offer the nation's top RV brands. You can expect value pricing from the get-go and guaranteed best financing options. You can also find us online at travelcamp.com. Our mission is simple: to help more families make more great memories in an RV. Travel Camp RV. We've had the pleasure of doing this since 1982.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates Frequent Shopper Clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
355 NFL 1, 355-6351, the number, the Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville after a Jaguars win. Who you got, Mike?
Oh, who do you think I have?
I think I know.
Our man Sakib in Keystone checking in to start the season. Sakib, I hope we're going to be happy with our decision to come to you first. How are you, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
We're excellent.
Great, man.
What's going on?
Hey, listen, I came all the way. I was working in Jacksonville, drove all the way 55 miles to Keystone back home to watch my Jags play. I wasn't disappointed today. I wish we would stop those penalties, but it's the first week. I'm not going to even mention that. We will be okay. But I'm just so happy that the football is back, like everybody else in Jacksonville. I can't wait till that Week 1 game against the Colts. I will do whatever it takes to be Indianapolis, rooting for my Jags. I will do whatever it takes to be in that game, and I hope I can make it there and get that big W in Week 1. Thank you, boys, and good to have football back, baby.
All right, Sakib. Thank you, buddy. Good to have Sakib back, and good to have him back in a positive frame of mind. This is what Trevor Lawrence has done for this city, JP, that Sakib is in a great mood, despite the fact that the Jags had 13 penalties in their first preseason game. I tend to agree with him, though. If it becomes a trend for the next couple weeks, it's going to be something we worry about. You hope it's one of those you point to and say we're a little sloppy out of the gates and we clean that thing up.
It happens. It's preseason. It's the first time a lot of guys have been in game action in the NFL at all, and the lights are bright. The game's faster than in practice, and things happen. And, hey, it's just about going back to the tape, correcting it, moving on, fixing your technique, and improving next time against the Lions. That's all you can do. And on the penalty thing, just go play some more.
All right, what you said.
Penalties happen, man. Like, what do you want? It's football.
Well, they do, but, I mean. Look,
well, you don't want 13 a week. I know that, but
right.
It's preseason Week 1.
I understand that. What Dallas have?
I'd rather have
today?
them. Well, that's fine. Good for them.
Well, I'm just saying.
Less.
You don't
I'm
have
to guess. I'm taking the under on that. What do you think?
The under, you mean next week?
Below no. They were under 13. The Lions had less than the Jaguars.
Oh,
today.
the
team we
Cowboys
played today.
the
Cowboys.
team we played today, the Cowboys had 6.
It's
today.
late, man.
Yes. Well, I'm just saying. Look, the Jags talked a lot about playing a clean game in that regard. No, you're not going to be penalty free, but 5 in the first quarter, a little too much. Correct it. Move on.
Next,
James. Oh, listen to you. Next. I'm gonna wait a second now. All right, now I'm ready. James, who's leaving the game in Dallas, Texas, right now. James, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
How y'all going? Yeah, just leaving the stadium now. Traffic is pretty good, so I'm actually happy about that. But I wanted to talk about the starting offense and the starting to Ridley, get a couple of connections. Was kind of hoping that they would be, crisp and fluid on the first series, so wouldn't have to see them out there too much. That was a little concerned that they had to play 3 series. But I also was hoping to see a little more push from the defensive front against their backups. I didn't really see that. I know that's going to be a big question throughout the season. Just wanted to get y'all's takes on that.
All right. Yeah, well, I think we all like to see them be a little bit crisper or a little bit more sharp than they were, and I think a little bit of good fortune there, JP. I don't know what would happen if Dallas had gotten that punt and maybe burned 5 minutes off the clock. Would the Jags' offensive starters have gone back in? Possibly so. They hadn't played very much at that point, but they had the quick change, and they took advantage of it, so there is that. Look, you can look at it that way. Did they get enough push against the offensive front? Devon Hamilton did have a sack, so that was one of the Jags' first teamers in there. A lot of the other guys were backups, but I know Dallas was playing their backups the whole game, but probably at a certain point in time, they probably had some third stringers in there when the Jags had guys that are going to be second string, whatever the case may be. But I didn't feel like Dallas ran the ball particularly well early on. Deuce Vaughn did most of his damage against Jaguar backups in this football game. Would have liked to have seen them move Cooper Rush off of his spot a little bit more. He's able to complete 10 out of 12 passes as a starting quarterback for the Cowboys today. Again, it's a work in progress. Did they dominate to the degree that you'd hope to against second-teamers? Probably not. But they came out on top. They had the advantage, and the first-team defense basically pitched a shutout when they were in there. So, could be worse. And granted, that was saved by a big play near the goal line by Greg Jr., but
big play.
He made the play.
He made a great play, and moments after he had recovered one on special teams. So make a big play in a big moment where you can, and yeah, it's preseason week 1. Not everything's got to look perfect right now. It's a work in progress, and you build upon it week to week, and they'll have some great work against the Lions to work some of these things out too.
All right, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number if you want to get in on the Scoreboard Show. We'll come back and take more of your calls here.
Yeah, let's take a timeout. We're back in a moment. 355-NFL-1, the number. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Milquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue mayonnaise on a white sub roll. The Jaguars sub is an easy, delicious meal for any fan. Make it an ultimate game day by ordering the Jaguars sub online for in-store pickup. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a parking spot? Join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Stadium is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from various locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage near downtown. Buy single game or season passes exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app starting at just $10. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Inside the Hyundai Studios in Jacksonville, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. The Scoreboard Show continues. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number. And if you're a Jags fan who's always on the move, Mike, we've got the perfect plan for you.
Love to hear it.
With our bundle at the bank, you can purchase tickets to 3 or more games starting at just $58 a game. Get that flexibility you want for your time this fall. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. Now that is a heck of a deal.
That is a heck of a deal. I mean, it's going to be, we hope, a very sought-after ticket. As the season plays out, don't wait until the last minute. Got some amazing games on the schedule.
The clock's ticking.
Year.
Clock is ticking.
Look, it's potential history in the making for this team. I mean, I don't think you can – you can't guarantee what they're going to do, but I don't think you can limit what the possibilities are for this football team if they stay healthy this year.
Stay healthy, yeah. They're going to continue to grow as it goes along, and big things could happen. Let's go to the phone lines.
Let's do it. Let's go out to Orange Park. Ironically, Dallas is in Orange Park calling in on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Dallas.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think when I look at the preseason game, you know, obviously we're going against the twos for Dallas, and Trevor's going against the ones. I think he's going to be, when you look at player comps, he's going to be more, I comp him more to a Peyton Manning than a Mahomes. I think Trevor's going to throw more than 8 interceptions this year. I think that's going to happen, but I also think he might throw 35 touchdowns, so we'll take that. So that was my 2 cents. I think they did pretty well overall. No injuries, major injuries, so we're Jags.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're taking more risks down the field, you're going to have a lot of more success, but you're going to have a lot more chances for teams to get their hands on the football.
I take 36-12 right now.
Yeah,
I mean, right,
to the bank,
and he's quite capable of putting up those kind of numbers this year. He really is. And look, the player comp thing is fun, but, you know, Peyton Manning was a master at pre-snap reads, getting defenses off balance, but what Trevor has is an athleticism to his game that Peyton Manning never really had. You know, that doesn't make him a better quarterback than Peyton Manning or a better prospect. Just he's different. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's Trevor Lawrence. He's a big-bodied guy with an arm that can make every throw out there. The ability to extend plays with his athleticism, the brain to dissect defenses, and a guy that I think his teammates love playing with and for. So, you know, a lot of reason to be excited about Trevor Lawrence. There's no doubt about that. And there are going to be bumps along the way. Bad interception today. Hey, it's the preseason, you know. Write that one off. But that is something that you got to watch, JP, going forward here. The slow starts in the first half of the season last year really put them in bad positions, and even into the second half of the season, right? And they had the ability to overcome, but don't put yourself in a position where you have to overcome, man. If this team can start well, if they can win first quarters, they're going to win a lot of football games this year.
You know, we heard from Andre Sisco in the pregame show today, and I asked him, you know, how has they've been in the league the same time together? And so he gets to practice against Trevor Lawrence every day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's known coming out of college as a ball-hawking safety. He had a bunch of interceptions in a short time at Syracuse and all that. It's taken him a little time to kind of get on the field first off his rookie year. He finally got out there and has played well. But he said it's really hard to pick off Trevor Lawrence, even in practice, just because he's decisive and he usually makes the right decision. Now it's the practice field. I get the pace is a little bit different, but you would think from time to time you'd be able to read it and get there and get in front of a pass, and it's just he said it's just really hard to do.
I'm sure you heard it or may have been in attendance when Calvin Ridley was talking and about Trevor Lawrence this week, and he kind of just almost laughed. Oh, yeah, like I'm playing like this guy. Like you don't realize it until you're on the field with him. I'm sure from Calvin Ridley's perspective, he knows what a good quarterback looks like. He played with Matt Ryan when he was an MVP, and Trevor can make every throw. He's got a great arm. In fact, that's one thing that Ridley said stood out to him was the arm strength was better than he imagined. You don't have to throw it through a brick wall every throw in the NFL. It's the ball placement. You know, that video been making the rounds this week of one of the opening drives Trevor had last year, and he throws one over the outstretched arms of a defensive back by about 0.5 millimeter to Marvin Jones. I know the one I'm talking about. You know the one. It's just you could say, wow, that's lucky. It's the ability to be willing to make that throw. And when you talk about windows, it's not always that you're going to have a little square you got to throw to. It's you got to throw it over the defensive back with just enough arc to layer the ball. Exactly. Yeah. And when he gets hot, he can do that and carry a team, making those kind of throws, like jaw-dropping kind of stuff. So it's on him to show down-in, down-out consistency, and it's on the coaching staff to bring that out of him. But they've got as good a raw material to work with as just about anybody you can imagine in the league right now.
We'll come back in a moment. Plenty more ahead. Your calls, phone lines open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gate's frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions Reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com. The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Hey, it's Salem from Travel Camp RV, the official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted to personally invite you to come shop with us. With locations throughout the Southeast, we're likely not far from you. We offer the nation's top RV brands. You can expect value pricing from the get-go and guaranteed best financing options. You can also find us online at travelcamp.com. Our mission is simple: to help more families make more great memories in an RV. Travel Camp RV. We've had the pleasure of doing this since 1982.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey from the Hyundai Studios. After a Jaguars win, it's the Scoreboard Show. 28-23 final score, Jaguars over the Cowboys. Let's go to the phone line now and welcome in our colleague, NFL Network analyst, Jaguars preseason TV analyst, co-host of the Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks show. It's Bucky Brooks from Dallas. Good evening, Bucky. How about the Jaguars tonight in Big D getting it done? The first team had their moments. They had an interception early. The defense looked pretty good throughout. So overall, what's your takeaway?
Pretty solid performance from the Jags for first game. I think there are a lot of positives to highlight. Defensively, 4 sacks, the pass rush showed up. It's the big concern, so you're worried about, are they going to be able to get home? And so we saw some flashes from some young guys being able to create pressure and those things. We saw the Jaguars create turnovers. 3 turnovers were solid. Able to do that, you win the turnover battle, you can win a lot of games. And so that's been the calling card for the Jaguars. So to see that continue, you love that. Tank Bigsby showing up, giving you 50-plus rushing yards, making some big plays. We saw the physicality and toughness that everyone has talked about. So that is positive. And then I would say the efficient overall passing game, particularly from Nathan Rourke at the end. You saw the Jaguars get the ball to a bunch of different wide receivers, and even though it might have been the 2s and 3s, you know that's a big part of how the Jaguars want to play. I feel like from that standpoint, it's exactly how Doug Peterson wants this offense to operate.
20 different players were targeted in the game. 13 players, Mike, had a catch in the game. So spreading the wealth, as he just said, all different teams, everybody's getting a look here.
Yeah, as it should be, right? You give these guys the opportunities. I don't think anybody had more than 3 balls thrown their way for the Jags today. And, Bucky, look, it's just a little bit of a dip the toe in the water here, but nice to see Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley make a couple of connections early in this football game, and he went to Christian Kirk a couple of times. Zay Jones caught the 2-pointer, so obviously spreading it around to his primary wide receiver weapons. What did you see from your vantage point on the interception that Lawrence threw? Because the throw is kind of mystifying. It looked like he was leading the defensive back on that play. Were 2 guys in the same area that shouldn't have been, or how did you see it from your vantage point?
It was a bad play by Trevor. He shouldn't make that throw. Like, he should live to play another down. Like, it's one where the defense won the down, and so you just got to throw it away and live to play the next down. And so the only thing that can undermine the Jaguars' chances of success this year is if they commit DBO violations, don't beat ourselves, penalties, turnovers, and big plays allowed. If they take care of those issues, they can win a ton of games. And so Trevor Lawrence has to make sure he takes care of the ball. He has to know, hey, man, you know what? Defense wins. Throw the ball in the stands and come back and do another one. And so that's an area where he has to continue to maintain his discipline and not try to do too much, because this offense will be explosive, but he has to be patient enough to let the offense work for him. He doesn't have to try and manufacture big plays.
Bucky Brooks with us on the Scoreboard Show. A couple of young guys had big games on defense. Let's start with Yasir Abdullah. 3 tackles, had a sack, was active throughout the night. That's one. Antonio Johnson, another. 7 tackles, another on special teams. As advertised, his size and his length come through. Those 2 young guys had a big night.
Yeah, they had big nights. You can already envision them playing roles. Don't know how big those roles will be, but you can see them. Abdullah right at the gate, man. The first time he's in the game, he makes a play. The sack where he just kind of dipped and ran around the corner, those are things that you want to see because somebody has to emerge as a guy that can give them a consistent pass rush. So maybe Abdullah is that guy to complement Josh Allen or somebody else, but they got to find a way to kind of generate this sack production from the pass rush. And then Antonio Johnson, coaches have been raving about him. He was a guy that was a natural nickel corner or nickel player at Texas A&M. You see him going on the field. He makes good tackles. And as the Jaguars kind of commit to maybe playing more zone coverage, it's really important that the guys you have in the back end, they're solid tackles that when they have an opportunity to go one-on-one to tackle guys in space, they get the runners down.
And, Bucky, of course, Greg Jr. was all over the place in that first quarter with the fumble recovery, which set up the Jaguars' first score. And then equally important, that strip near the goal line, that hustle play, I think, stands out in a coaching staff's mind. He could have very easily given up on that play, but he pulled the ball out around the 2-yard line. What do you make of his performance tonight?
Great performance. Anytime you're a part of 2 takeaways, man, it's a solid night. He had a fumble recovery on the special teams play that really gave the offense an opportunity to stay in because I think those guys were coming out. They stay in. They're able to convert the turnover into a touchdown. Then they get the 2-point conversion, so he helped them get going. And then a play at the end where he strips the ball as the runner, almost about to score a touchdown. To me, that's a huge play. That's a momentum swinger because the Cowboys are about to put 7 points on the board. They don't get that. And then you get a little momentum continuing to go for the offense. So, yeah, Gregory Jr., big plays. And the more that he makes those kinds of plays consistently, the better the opportunity for him to get on the field, not only as a down player, but maybe he overtakes Trey Herndon as the nickel player.
All right, Bucky, final thought. Looking ahead, the Jaguars head to Detroit this week, flying up Tuesday, practices against the Lions Wednesday, Thursday, a day on their own Friday to practice, and then Saturday the game at Ford Field. This should be a good test this week against a Lions team that feels like they're up and coming and ascending towards something in the NFC North. The Jaguars feel the same way in the AFC South, and they'll get a chance to get some good work in, some really good talent, especially on the lines, both offensive and defensive lines. That should be fun to watch.
Yeah, it should be fun to watch. The one thing that I would look for, can the Jaguars up the ante when it comes to matching their physicality in practice? You don't want fights, but the last time we saw the Jaguars and Detroit Lions square off, the Lions beat them up from snap to whistle. And so we need to see what that looks like. Can they even it up? And then I want to see, like, what this defense is able to do against a really high-powered offense. Detroit had one of the best offenses in the league last year. They can do some funny things. So how does this defense match up? And then I know we'll be in attack mode on offense.
Bucky, well done. We'll talk to you this week in Detroit, man. Have a good one.
See you, Buck.
Hey, man, have a good one. We'll talk to you.
Bucky Brooks, NFL Network, Jaguars preseason TV analyst.
I just wanted to pass this along. Patrick Mahomes has weighed in on Nathan Rourke. Okay.
Nice.
Warren Sharp of Sharp Football tweeted out a video of the play. Nathan Rourke broke the 4 tackles through the touchdown pass. He said, if Patrick Mahomes does this, Twitter breaks. Mahomes replied to that, that was nasty, with 3 exclamation points, a couple of flexing biceps emojis. So he's taking notice of what Rourke was able to do in the second half.
We're back in a moment with our final thoughts after a Jaguars win. 28-23 the final. Jaguars over the Cowboys. And this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Hey, Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a parking spot? Join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Stadium is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from various locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage near downtown. Buy single game or season passes exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app starting at just $10. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final moments. So our final call. Mike, what you got?
We got Don on the north side checking in, so let's find out what's on his mind. Don, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Thanks for calling. How are you?
Hello, Don.
That's a great setup, I thought.
It was really good. Smooth, in fact.
Mid-season form.
How we there?
We got
What's
you.
up? We got you now, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, how we doing? 1 second. I apologize.
It's all good.
How we doing, fellas?
Excellent. How are you?
Yeah, okay. So just a few things to touch on with all the other stuff, man. First of all, the pass to Trevor Evan Ingram, I think that pass was a little bit of a underthrow. I think I seen Ingram a little higher from him. I think it just sailed on him a little bit. With the ETN and Hasty and Bigsby and Johnson, I think that they set in the offense where Hasty would have more of the role that ETN would have, and Bigsby would be a little bit more Johnson-wise. Hey, if Nathan Ruick, he keep up, what do you guys think about him being the number 2, or do you think that they're keeping Beckett as the number 2 for sure as a mentor to Trevor Lawrence?
All right.
Now, I take because off the age.
Appreciate the call, Don. Thank you. I think that with a team with the kind of playoff aspirations that they have, they're going to rely on the veteran guy. I think they're very comfortable with C.J. Beathard, but
they signed a 2-year deal with him this offseason.
Yeah, and I think Nathan Rourke, though, is doing everything he can to make it a tough decision for them whether to keep 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
with
and
the new
you can
rule.
keep 3 with the new emergency quarterback rule. So
Right.
yeah.
I mean, you could keep 3 anyway,
Yeah,
but this
right.
way it wouldn't count against your game day active.
That's right.
And I understand kind of what he's saying. Like, Travis Etienne is more make you miss in space. Expect him to have some good receiving numbers out of the backfield. That's more similar type player to JaMychal Hasty than he is to Dearness Johnson, for instance. I think Bigsby and Dearness Johnson are your bruising types. I don't think Dearness Johnson's going to get much run during the season. The one catch he had today broke a tackle or two. He's a powerful guy. I like him. I like the fact that they've got him as a kind of a deep reserve, and he is a core 4 special teams player. At least he was in Cleveland. So you got that as well.
So here's another thing with the Rourke deal, right? I mean, if he keeps making plays like he did tonight, and playing as well as he did tonight, give him a lot of credit. Well, it's going to be tough to clear him through waivers. Like, he's not going to make it through. Some team's going to claim him. He's a quarterback playing as well as he seemed to be playing tonight with those type of plays. That doesn't happen all the time. The strength and the awareness to keep your head up and everything and to finish the play with a touchdown pass. And he showed his legs in other instances too. I mean, some teams will take a liking to that.
The interesting thing with him is he was so good. I think he set a record in the Canadian Football League in terms of completion percentage, like 78%, something crazy like that.
Right. And he's really good, and 20-yard passes are longer down the field, too.
Press Taylor praised his accuracy recently, what he's seen from him. But early on in the offseason, he I wouldn't say couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but he was struggling with accuracy. So it goes to show you have limited windows to impress the team as a young player. Nathan Rourke has no equity with this organization. So to go out there, what he did today is more important than anything he's done in a couple of weeks of training camp on the practice field, because this is against, quote-unquote live bullets against a team that doesn't know what the game plan is, who has bad intentions and all that. And that's a kind of a rallying cry play. I'm sure his teammates were going nuts with him afterwards, right? I mean, you love that. You love an underdog kind of trying to make the team anyway, JP, but you show the toughness. Quarterback, hey, look, you can fold up and go down. He's like, the heck, this is one of the few chances I've got to make a play. Broke 4 tackles and made a touchdown pass to Kadre Ollison. So good for him, man, for taking advantage.
And there was another throw, too, just to wrap up on this, where he's kind of fading away, backpedaling, and throws a dart.
Yeah, he did.
That was strong arm.
Was that Elijah Cooks over the middle?
So.
It might have been, right? It was. The Jags have a lot of those Seth Williams, Elijah Cooks, a lot of the big, tall guy that they're all fighting for that one spot out there. But hey, Nathan Rourke, the man of the moment. But let's hope that if that ball just did sail on Trevor Lawrence, that there won't be too many of those along the way this year.
Enjoy your Sunday, Mike.
I will.
I will also.
Hot and steamy on the golf course, baby. Can't beat that. That's a great combination for me. I love it.
That's Mike Dempsey. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew. David Cho on the video side. Donna Murphy, Linda Fortunato, Tony Smith, our entire crew obviously getting us ready for these shows, pregame and postgame. Thanks to you for listening as well and for your calls. And check out Jaguars Today on Monday, 10 to 12 on 1010XL. We'll have Jaguars Happy Hour Monday, 4 to 6 in the afternoon with Tony Baselli and Pete Prisco. Jags AM Monday morning as well on Jaguars.com. Thanks for listening. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.